This is the video you are looking for.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a top 5 list of Obi Wan Kenobi Funko Pops. And talk about perfect timing, because this upcoming Friday will be the premiere of the Disney Plus series Obi Wan Kenobi, which I am super excited for, and I think it's actually going to be a 2-episode premiere this upcoming Friday. So I might as well kick off this video with my number 5 pick. So coming in at number 5 on this list is the Star Wars The Clone Wars Obi Wan Kenobi. I think that this pop turned out very well. I like the pose that it's in, because a lot of Star Wars pops, especially during the time that this was made, were just pops with arms to the side. They didn't really have a pose like this Obi Wan Kenobi has. It has the different outfit that Obi Wan Kenobi would have worn in the Clone Wars series, and I think the detail with his hair and his beard, I think they basically had it spot on to what Ewan McGregor would have looked like in Attack of the Clones and essentially Revenge of the Sith. But the reason that this made it at the bottom of the list is because of the fact of, I guess it wouldn't be my favoritism, I guess it would be my non-favoritism towards the Clone Wars, because I wasn't actually that big of a fan of the Clone Wars. Believe it or not, I actually liked Rebels better, but nonetheless, this is still a cool version of Obi Wan Kenobi. But let's check out my number 4 pick. So coming in at number 4 on my list is the Walgreens exclusive hooded Obi Wan Kenobi. I think the way they did this pop is pretty cool. It's in a simplistic pose, kind of like the last pop we talked about, except this time it looks more like he is ready to use his lightsaber, or he's in mid-lightsaber battle with the way that it's posed here. I like the idea of him wearing the hood for this pop, especially because there are those times where Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of goes like incognito per se, to where he doesn't want anyone knowing where he is or really seeing him in plain sight. So he has the hood up, and I'm never sure whether this is actually a pop directed towards Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, because either way, he does have his hood up here and there during both of those movies, so I think it could go either way. And this pop has actually shot up in value. It's actually $166 Canadian as of the recording of this video, and I mean, I don't blame it because of the fact of the upcoming release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So obviously a lot of the Obi-Wan Kenobi pops have shot up in price, like a lot of different licensors as terms to pops. When something related to that, whether it's a TV series or a movie comes out, then the price of the pops go up. So I'm not surprised about the price of this specific Obi-Wan Kenobi. But let's move over to my number 3 pick. So coming in at number 3 is the Amazon exclusive Force Ghost 3-pack. I think this was an excellent idea for Funko to do. They had already done the Force Ghost Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Star Wars Celebration pop where it's by itself, which does make sense because you do see the Force Ghost Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially throughout both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But this specific moment was just kind of a feel-good moment at the end of Return of the Jedi, after the Rebel Alliance defeated the Galactic Empire once again by destroying the Death Star number 2, and then you see Luke waving at the Force Ghosts of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin Skywalker. And it was a bit of a feel-good moment, like I mentioned, because of the fact that at that time, we didn't know that there was going to end up being a prequel series and eventually a sequel series also. Most people probably thought this would have been the end of the entire Star Wars saga. So for Funko to make this into a, I guess, 3-pack or moments is really awesome, and making a glow-in-the-dark too, because ghosts obviously kind of light up as terms to whenever you watch a TV series or movie, and it actually turned out well considering that blue is not the greatest color when it comes to glow in the dark. So for this to actually glow very well being blue is a huge surprise in my opinion. But let's check out my number 2 pick. So coming in at number 2 on my list, it is the Amazon exclusive Duel of Fates Obi Wan Kenobi Pop Deluxe. Now this is a bit high up on the list because of the fact that I've always wanted Funko to make a prequels Obi Wan Kenobi, or I should say a Phantom Menace Obi Wan Kenobi, where he has the short hair and kind of that braid that goes along the side of his head there. I think they did a pretty good job, and this is a part of what I believe is probably one of the best lightsaber duels in the entire Star Wars franchise, easily in the top 5 best lightsaber duels involving Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, which is what this pop is involved with, is to recreate that moment where you connect the 3 pieces. And to have the first ever Phantom Menace Obi-Wan Kenobi in this form is pretty cool, because they could have done a simpler version of the character or the version of Obi-Wan by itself, but they made it better to where they added it for a specific moment in the movie, and like I mentioned, it is a part of one of the best lightsaber duels. Before I move on to my number 1 pick, I'm going to be talking about 2 honorable mentions for this top 5 list. So the first honorable mention I have on this list is the Walmart exclusive Death Star Duel Pop Movie Moments. I think this is pretty decent for what it is. I mean, there's nothing really going on, which I guess at the same time, really during that lightsaber duel, there wasn't really much going on, because it is actually the very first lightsaber duel in the entire Star Wars franchise. And I almost wanted to put this pop on the list because of the fact that it features Darth Vader, which Darth Vader obviously being my favorite Star Wars character in the entire franchise, and they did a decent job with this version of Obi Wan Kenobi, but it's a little bit plain because of the fact that it's just on this plain base. I think what makes up for it is the fact that they have what's going on the outside of the scene there with like the walls inside of the box, but if you were to have this out of box, then it would just look like 2 pops on just a plain base, in my opinion, which is why it's only an honorable mention and not in the top 5. And the other honorable mention for this top 5 list is the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty. I guess they're calling it Young Obi Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith. I think they did a pretty decent job. My only gripe about this is the fact of what I mentioned earlier about older Star Wars pops, in which they would have the arms to the side and they're not doing any posings like you would have seen with a lot of the Obi Wan Kenobi pops we had talked about on this top 5 list. It's just arms to the side and you see the lightsaber kind of going in front of Obi Wan Kenobi there. It's not really doing a pose, in which it's a little boring to me, and I can tell obviously this is Revenge of the Sith Obi Wan Kenobi because he had much shorter hair than he did in Attack of the Clones. And I can definitely tell you that there is a better version of this kind of Obi Wan Kenobi, especially in the number 1 spot. So without further ado, let's check out my number 1 pick. So coming in at number 1, my favorite Obi Wan Kenobi Funko Pop that Funko has pulled off is the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty exclusive Duel on Mustafar Pop Movie Moments. This thing is absolutely insane. You have the Obi Wan Kenobi like mentioned in the honorable mentions list, except it's actually in a fighting pose. You have the dark side Anakin Skywalker, which was a singular pop, but they made it in more of a battle pose for this moment. And the thing I really like about this is the fact that they incorporated the stand that they were on when they were doing the duel, plus they added the lava that is on the planet or system of Mustafar as the base, and I think it turned out really well. I actually own this pop. I owned this before it was so much money on the secondary market, which I think I paid about $70 to $80 Canadian, and now it's worth $358 Canadian. So I've made a lot of money back on this essentially if I were to sell this, which I'm not going to sell it because Revenge of the Sith being one of my favorite Star Wars movies and this being an awesome moment from that movie. This definitely has to be the best Obi Wan Kenobi Funko Pop just because of how amazing this moment was in the movie, and especially the way that the Obi Wan Kenobi Pop is in this movie moments. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of today's top 5 list. If you enjoyed my top 5 list of Obi Wan Kenobi Funko Pops, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know your favorite Obi Wan Kenobi Pop, whether it's one that I mentioned or one that wasn't mentioned on this list. And as said in the intro, make sure you press that subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.